Valtteri Bottas is a PR superstar for the Saber F1 team. What started as a naked calendar to raise money for charity has become a very tongue-in-cheek advert for Uber car share, with Bottas fully embracing his bogan side. While his team's title sponsors, Kick and Stake, are probably loving the exposure, Audi and Saber are apparently far less impressed with what really matters: his on-track performance. With Audi upping their investment in the team, they're going to want to see returns, and all reports point toward the current Sauber drivers not being a part of their plan. With the Australian Grand Prix weekend upon us, the yearly tradition of turning every F1 driver into an Australian is in full flow, and it is the Stake Kick Sauber team that has been making the most of it. Not that they can go by their full name in Australia due to gambling advertising laws, so it's just Kick Sauber F1 team this weekend. Zhou has been getting dressed up, and Bottas has been copying the legendary Get Pitted Bra interview. While they might be having fun off the track, on track, things have been going far worse. The most obvious problem has been the abysmal pit stops from the team. Zhou suffered a slow visit to the pits last time out in Saudi Arabia, when a problem occurred with a cross-threaded wheel nut, resulting in the Chinese driver losing time and dropping to the back of the field. This followed on from Bottas experiencing a similar issue at the season-opening Bahrain Grand Prix. Valtteri has admitted that the problem is not 100% resolved, as the team are waiting for new parts to ensure the issues don't continue. A flawless pit stop isn't going to resolve the problems with the car performance, though. Ninth in the Constructors' Championship in 2023 is not a place Bottas is used to finishing, and based on the first two races of the season, the team are unlikely to improve on that result by the end of 2024. Of course, the drivers can't be blamed for the car's poor performance. They can only try their best with the car they have. But is their best good enough for the soon-to-be owners Audi? Audi will take control of the Sauber Formula 1 team ahead of its entry into the championship in 2026. In 2022, Audi revealed that it will join Formula 1 as a strategic partner to Sauber Motorsport in 2026 and plan to acquire a 75% stake of the company. That was going to be undertaken in order to increase that holding in stages through 2025. But an agreement has now been reached whereby Audi will take over 100% of Sauber, taking full control from current majority shareholder Islero Investments, controlled by Tetra Pak billionaire Finn Rausing. Audi isn't coming into F1 half-heartedly. This is a serious investment. The company has found a huge amount of success in other motorsport categories, and the expectation within the company is that they will be competing at the front in F1 as well. To fight at the front in F1, though, you need top drivers to pair up with an exceptional car. While just getting to Formula 1 as a driver puts you in the absolute elite of racing drivers worldwide, there is an upper echelon of people who can actually fight for a world title, and few would argue that Zhou or Valtteri Bottas are in that category. Both have their merits as drivers. Bottas has talked enthusiastically about trying to be part of the Audi project, having moved from the very front of the grid from Mercedes to join Sauber in 2022. He was an excellent servant to the Mercedes team for 5 years, but no one would argue he was ever anywhere near Hamilton's level. As for Zhou, he's a popular, hardworking part of the team with great application, and Audi greatly values the Chinese market. But in his third season of F1, there's no real sign of him becoming more than just a solid midfield operator. Both drivers are out of contract at the end of this season, and 2026 will be upon us quicker than we think, so Audi and Sauber have some big decisions to make. The driver market is in a state of flux at the moment, making some choice free agents available who would be a good fit for the Audi Works team. But the competition for their services will be fierce. The race winners that are out of contract for 2025 or 2026 are Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Pierre Gasly, Esteban Ocon, Daniel Ricciardo, and Bottas. For podium finishers, add Alex Albon and Lance Stroll to the list. Most of them will be shopping around, but with different levels of availability. There are a couple of drivers that can be crossed off Audi's maybe list straight away, though. Lance Stroll is not leaving Aston Martin unless his dad sells the team, and is definitely not a noticeable upgrade to Bottas or Zhou. Daniel Ricciardo is, in most people's opinion, pretty much done at this point as well, bar an incredible mid-season turnaround which looks beyond unlikely. If Alonso wants to keep racing beyond this season, he'll be holding out for something more proven, like a Mercedes drive or the Red Bull seat, should that team's ongoing troubles create a sudden opening. But if neither path opens up, then even staying with his current Aston Martin team would probably be more appealing than rolling the dice on Sauber and Audi. Some might argue that Bottas is at least a match for many on that list, and Zhou hasn't had a chance to prove he can be up to their standard, but word from the Sauber team is that the writing might already be on the wall for both of them. Christian Menath, a journalist for German publication Motorsport magazine, said, "Sauber is not 100% satisfied with the two drivers. Valtteri Bottas was signed by Fred Vasseur 3 years ago, not Andreas Seidl, who probably would have liked to have been rid of him a year earlier, so I'm pretty sure that there are 2 cockpits to fill. Zhou Guanyu, of course, also brings a lot of money, but prospectively, Sauber will become the Audi works team, and a pay driver will no longer be required to play a role at all." Valtteri himself has admitted that there is a possibility that Audi won't want him to continue, and has opened himself up to the drivers' market. "I really want to carry on, and I really want to get closer to the top fighting for proper results again," said Bottas. "I think it's always interesting when you have a big manufacturer like that entering the sport, but if for some reason there isn't an opportunity for me, and I think there is, then the driver market is quite wide open for next year." With over half the grid out of contract at the end of the year, and every team bar Ferrari with a space to fill, it is the perfect time for Audi to get the drivers they want, so a 1-year extension for either Zhou or Bottas is only likely if the team can't get their main targets. The general consensus is that Carlos Sainz sits atop the list of targets. With his dad a successful rally driver for Audi, he has an inside line. He's now a race winner and has plenty of experience. He might not have the single lap pace of his current teammate Charles Leclerc, but in race trim, he's a smooth operator. With Ferrari making the understandable swap of Lewis Hamilton for Carlos Sainz in 2025, the Spaniard is a free agent as well. Team boss Andreas Seidl holds Sainz in very high opinion, having worked with him at McLaren, but there will be other teams interested in a proven Grand Prix winner. So it may depend on whether Sainz covets an Audi seat enough. Otherwise, Audi will be relying on him being low enough on rival shopping lists to still be available. While Audi will become a competitive outfit in the future, there's no doubt of that. It isn't going to be instantaneous. Carlos will be 30 by the start of the 2025 season, in what is probably going to be his prime, and he'll want a car that can compete for race wins. Will he be willing to wait for Audi to get there is the real question. Sainz is only one driver though, leaving a space open for Bottas or Zhou to continue, but the rumours coming from the team is that Nico Hülkenberg is the preferred driver to take the second spot. He may not be a superstar headline signing, but he is a dependable driver and has shown at his return to Haas that he has pace. His Q3 appearances last year shocked many people, especially considering how far ahead of teammate Kevin Magnussen he was. Audi's entrance to F1 is going to upset the status quo of the sport, and all signs are currently pointing to Bottas and Zhou being the first casualties off that. But if they aren't re-signed by Sauber for 2025, where do you think they'll end up? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and until next time, drive safe and bye for now.